Doing some tinkering in the boat. Got my wart box. We're going to talk about what makes a wart valuable, how you know which ones you want, and what to do with ones that you don't love the colors of or they're all beat up.
Wiggle warts. What makes one wiggle wart a $5 wart? And what makes one wart potentially a $50 wart? And what do you do with these old beat up, nasty looking wiggle warts, and how do you make them valuable again? First question here. You've got the new Rapala-owned Storm wiggle warts. You can tell those by the storm under the bill. The older wiggle warts, their telltale sign is they say wiggle wart, usually pretty faintly. The majority of this box, all but basically this one, maybe a couple others, are the OGs. You can see that on a lot of different colors here, a lot of different variations. You know, wiggle wart, wiggle wart. Sometimes it's easier to see than not. But, and I guess now is the why, right? So a lot of these older wiggle warts, what makes them, or at least the belief is, anyways, is that they weren't as perfect, right? The new wiggle warts, they upgraded the molds. They're very symmetrical. They're very smooth. They don't have these little ridges and bumps on them, imperfections. So they run really true and straight. And they believe, maybe the plastic changed too. I don't know. Let's look at this. Maybe here's the new one, older one. So the new ones are a little louder than the old one. Either the material of the body or the material of the beads inside of them. So you'll see, like, you see the seams on the bills. You see the seam down the back. A lot of these baits, there's just little imperfections in these molds that maybe make them like dart, wander, hunt a little bit. And that's what people tend to like and believe. And then based on their, experience, believe that what makes them fish catchers. There's also some versions out there that have like this little round dimple. Yeah, that's debatable whether those are better or worse, more desirable, less desirable, but you also see that on certain versions. They also have a suspending version, which you'll see little dots on the bottom will say suspending. Some of the other warts, the mid warts, the wee warts, some of those can be pretty sought after as well. Mag warts can be slightly desirable as well. They will have the wiggle wart under the body of those too, but they're a much different bait. They're much louder, more obnoxious, kind of like a lipless sounding bait. So people like these baits because for two reasons. One is the collectability of them and also the fish catching of them. Collectability, there are certain colors that are kind of rare. Some of the craw patterns can be pretty good, like those. We could get all carried away about like the V37 and V77 and all the different colors, but a lot of the perch and crawdad and some of those are some of the more unique colors. There were some Bass Pro exclusive colors back in the day as well. So, but that's all, fish catching, collecting. I'm mostly interested in catching fish. But so that leads me to believe, so I've got a fair amount of these, ones that are pretty tore up. Could I cast them out and catch fish on these? Probably. The original hooks on them are pretty bad, but I got a lot of ones that are in need of some repainting. And there's just certain colors like this orange one. Right or wrong, I probably not gonna throw that. So I might send those in for some fresh up. So I got about half of these that I'm gonna keep as is, and half of these that I'm gonna send in for a facelift and convert them into some colors that I would be pretty excited to throw just about anywhere I would fish. The other thing is these ones with clearer bills are a little more sought after because they make some of the really good, like phantom craw colors, are only possible if you have that clear lip. So that's kind of the 101. You can get into the details, maybe a little more nerdy on the what's of and which baits are worth more and which color is the most desirable. Now I'm going to walk you through how to prep these, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to prep them and send them off to my buddy AJ at Horseshoe Custom and hand these off. I'm going to basically make another little box here of the ones I'm going to have repainted. We're going to send them off to him, and then we'll come back and show you what some of these and these are going to look like when he's done. So regardless if you're going to paint them for yourself or send them out to somebody, a couple things to do. Make it easier on your painter. You remove the split rings and the hooks. And for the most part, these old silver hooks, on these old Warts are junk, so you don't really want them anyways. So get yourself a good pair of split ring pliers. These are one of the ones I like. Some people like the Texas Bass pliers. These are the Jurion precision pliers. I like these quite a bit. I'll put a link down in the description and the pinned comment about where you can get these on Amazon for a pretty decent deal. Let me know what your favorite split ring pliers are. Just go on there and before you send them in and prep them, go ahead and just take all those off for your favorite painter, because you'd rather have them spend their time doing something they're good at, like painting, and not messing with your split rings. Let them do the sanding, the painting, the clear coat. You can take off the rings and hooks. Should be about 30 seconds per bait before you send them in. All right, there's the carnage from pulling all the split rings and hooks off. And there is the dirty dozen. It's actually 11 plus this screwtail bomber that we're going to send off to AJ and get some fresh paint on them. Let's see how that goes. Also, I'll put a link down to AJ's website down below if you want to check out some of his work. And maybe just one of these, maybe we'll give one away or sell one after they're done.
Got my bait, my box here from AJ back from Horseshoe Custom with a bunch of baits. Let me show you. I think they turned out really sweet. My Warts back from AJ, Horseshoe Custom, and man, they look juicy. Here's some of the different variations. We'll look at them one by one. So here is an Ozark Craw. This is one of AJ's most popular Wigglewort rock crawler. And see, on all these we preserved the original Wigglewort stamps. So if anybody ever questions whether these are OGs or not, just to kind of give you the depth and the layers in that craw, definitely going to be a fish catcher. Excited to toss that one around. And you can find these at horseshoetackle.com. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check out some of AJ's work. Get your own baits painted. Otherwise, he's got a bunch of baits that he paints that you can order as well. And here's a Husker Craw, one of the few that I sent in with a clear bill, so we kind of preserved some of that ghost look on this one. Pretty excited about the Nebraska Craw. Sorry, did I say Husker? Here's a Nebraska without the clear lip. Another version. I like this because I feel like this could also pass as a bluegill in most parts of the country as well. And then we did a super bug with the chartreuse accents, kind of a green pumpkin black back. Definitely could be a craw, could be a bluegill. I went with kind of craw patterns on it, but excited to try this one for sure. And lastly, remember that old bomber screwtail that was looking all jacked up? We put that Nebraska craw on that, and it's looking extra spicy for an old girl. What do you think, bomber fans? If you're more into the hunt than the actual painting and that kind of stuff, and you'd rather see some like tackle finds, Facebook Marketplace type stuff, check out this recent hunt in this video right here.